Welcome to Heath's house, where random things happen and it usually works out. Today I'm going to go cut some trees up, big chunk for some fence posts and the rest for firewood. So follow along while we go have some fun at the farm. Welcome back to Heath's house, where we do a little bit of everything all the time and it usually turns out right. Today we're going to be cutting about a 17-foot section from here to turn into fence boards, and then we're going to take the rest of this tree and cut it up into some wood for the wood stove. Should be a fun day. Follow along as we get the stuff running. So I've got a couple other chainsaws. There's a big one and there's a smaller one. These two are my favorites though. I'm putting some oil in there now. So my Echo, I've had this one for like 20 years. This Husqvarna I've had for at least a decade. And these things will run and cut through just about anything. I've got a smaller one that hooks to my waist if I'm climbing trees. That one's pretty nice too. It's a little still. It's got a lot of power for the size of blade it has, and it'll cut through anything. And then we got a 088T, which has like 8.5 horsepower. And just had it rebuilt, got a new bar on it, and that thing will literally cut through any tree you put it up against. It's pretty awesome, but it's also very heavy. Uses a lot of fuel, so I don't use it that often. All right, while those guys warm up, I'm gonna measure out 17 feet here, maybe a little bit more. We need 16-foot fence boards, but it'll crack up at the end a little bit, so right here. Got to measure it now because I'll probably get a little bit happy when I'm starting to cut all this stuff up for splitting wood. And I don't want to go too far up this trunk. So the wood stove, you can fit an 18-inch log in there. So I went through and measured on this one every 18 inches and put a notch. That way we can put the biggest log possible into the wood stove. And then once we split these, we're going to split them so they're about 8-inch chunks. And then they'll fit in the wood stove opening and stay burning for a long time. You want your logs as big as possible. Put them in that wood stove. Well, getting ready to start splitting. One of them got away from me. I'm gonna have to go push that back up the mountain. Then we're gonna get to splitting this stuff, stacking some more wood. This is mostly green. The tree was dying a little bit, but it should still be good to go by the end of winter. So this part here, now this part's a lot more fun with two people, because then one person, he can just be splitting and the other one stacking the firewood. Now, get all the wood over here and stack it up a little bit. So once we start splitting, we're going to split. Like this one here, that'd probably fit in the wood stove just like that, but by splitting it once, it'll age a lot faster and be ready to use by the end of winter. You might see me throw some small chunks to the side every once in a while. Number 4 kid, no, number 3 son, he likes to turn wood. And so if I see good burls or anything like that, I pull those out. So so he can use those. All right, let's get to splitting. right, well, about halfway through, so this video doesn't need to be 4 hours long. Got a little bit stacked right there. Got this stuff down the hill, and then a couple more small pieces over here that I got to pull out, and another log over there. So I'll check back in a little bit. All right, well, we got it all stacked. There's some on the other side too. That one we might put on the sawmill or something. That's kind of a cool little piece of wood. It would have been a pain in the ass to split. And this one should have some cool pieces of wood out of it too. And then the farmer needed 17 feet. That's about 19 feet. But some of it will split at the ends. And so he should be able to get 16 foot of fence boards out of that pretty easily. Probably quite a few fence boards as well. Now, time to load everything up, but I'm gonna go to the top of the mountain real quick and see what the view's like up there. I thought I was gonna close it out by going to the top of the mountain, which is that way, but found a pile out here. Looks like it's from last season's firewood, but it's got some good wood there probably. So I'm gonna split this and stack it for him. That way he can use this in his wood stove right now. And then we'll head to the top of the mountain. Beautiful view though, huh? Wait till you see the top. All right, didn't make it quite to the top, but this is a good view right here. Pretty good day. Weather warmed up. I think it was in the 60s today. I probably didn't need this big shirt on, but it's good to keep your sleeves covered. Anyways, I'm gonna post some pictures on my Facebook page as well. I pulled up to that valley, that little plateau right there where I stopped a second ago, and there were 4 bucks just hanging out. One of them had a pretty decent rack on it, and they went into the woods, so I think I only got pictures of 2 of them. But yeah, it was pretty cool. They were not too far from me, and the big guy just stared at me. I think he knew he was safe. But I'm gonna head home. I think I'm gonna smoke some of those bratwurst we made the other day. That sounds like a nice dinner after splitting a bunch of wood. So we'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping by Heath's house, where the food is always fresh and the back deck is always open. Time to go build a fire.